Hey there, my amazing artists. Today I'm going to show you how to paint your popsicles that you drew during last class. First, I'm going to start out by drawing my popsicles again, just to review how we did it. So we started in the middle with a popsicle shape, making it large, and then making 2 lines down and a U underneath to make the stick. You're going to make 1 on each side, just like this first one. We're repeating things just like Wayne Thiebaud did in his artwork, like the desserts in the diners. So we're creating an artwork similar to Wayne Thiebaud's style. All right, after you made your popsicles, you created a countertop around the popsicles to give it the illusion of space. This makes the popsicles look like they're sitting on the counter. So after that, you were done with your marker, and now you are ready to do some color mixing. So in each of the popsicles, we are going to be mixing 2 primary colors. The first one is going to be yellow and red. Now, when you're mixing together your primary colors, you're only going to be painting inside the popsicle shape. We're going to paint the sticks and the background later. So I'm going to start with my paintbrush, and I'm going to start with the darker of the 2 colors. So we're going to use red and yellow. I think red's a little bit darker than the yellow, so I'm going to start with red. And you can put it at the bottom or you can put it at the top. You just pick one spot for it. So I'm going to dip in the red, and I'm just going to paint a little bit at the bottom. You want to apply the paint pretty thick so that you can mix your colors together later. You want to do a nice, neat job when you do this, staying inside the lines. We don't want messy, messy popsicles. Right? Then I'm going to clean my brush in my water. And tempera paint hates water. It's water and tempera paint are enemies. So you want to make sure you get the water off your brush on the water bucket, and you dry your brush on a paper towel. If the paper towel on your paint tray is completely full, then you can go get your own paper towel from the dispenser. Now I'm going to take yellow, and I'm going to start painting at the top. As I'm painting, I'm going to make it go all the way down to the red, but I want to start at the top first because I want that to be pure yellow. As I get down to the red, I want to kind of touch the red and mix it a little bit with the yellow. I can even dip my brush again very carefully because it has some red on it and get a little bit more yellow and mix it with that red on my paper. So you are discovering what color yellow and red makes, and that would make the color orange. Very good. So this is a popsicle that is yellow on the top, orange in the middle, and red at the bottom. For the next popsicle, we're going to do yellow and another color. We're going to do blue. So again, we're going to start with the darker color first. Drying my brush because water is this paint's enemy. I don't want any water. Now, some of the paint has been used by other students in the school, and it might have some colors mixed in. What you can do is just try to avoid those colors by dipping your brush in the part with the clean, fresh paints. So I'm going to start with the blue at the bottom, just like I did the red. I'm avoiding that white because we're not using white today. We're only using the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. I know it's tempting because they're in there, but don't use them yet. We're not using them today. So I'm going to paint a little bit higher with this one. Clean my brush because blue is very, very dark and it will try to take over my whole popsicle. Dry it off. Get that paper towel a couple times, and now I'm going to go to the yellow. So I'm going to dip in the yellow. Remember to start at the top, or the opposite end. If you're doing the opposite of me, that's great too. But remember to start with the blue because it's darker. Blue and red are the darkest of the 3 primary colors. They're very, very strong and they like to take over, so you got to be careful. So as I'm moving down to that blue, remember you can start to touch it, but you don't want to go all the way up to the top. You want to leave some of that yellow. And now my popsicle is becoming green in the center. So I'm just kind of mixing it up so that it looks nice and makes sense. There we go. So yellow and blue will make a green centered popsicle. The last popsicle you're going to paint is going to combine red and blue. Now I said for the three primary colors, red and blue, are the darkest, most powerful. So it's going to be hard to choose which one is the darker of the two. In my opinion, I would say blue is the darker of the two, and it is more powerful, but if you want to try red first, go ahead. This is one of the tricky things about being an artist, is you got to kind of experiment and figure out what works for you. So I'm going to start with my blue, and I'm going to put it at the bottom. Oops, I got a little bit of white on there. That's okay. Blue's really strong, so it's not going to do much. And I'm going to mix it all, paint it all the way up there. Clean my brush when I'm getting ready to mix. Drying it off. Being an artist takes some time, so you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Then I'm going to put red on top of this one, so I'm going to take red, and I'm going to put red at the top. Now, like I said, if you want to try doing it the other way and see what works better, you can be like a scientist and experiment a little bit. So I'm painting from the top down, holding my brush nicely. Okay. I'm going to dip one more time in my red, and then I'm going to start mixing with that blue. Keeping it in the middle. I think I'm going to need to dip some more red maybe. Oh no, it looks like it's turning purple. Very good. So you just mix together the two primary colors to make what's called the secondary colors. The secondary colors are the ones that are in the middle. The secondary colors are orange, green, and violet, and they can be created by combining two primary colors together. When you're done, you're going to put your paper on the drying rack with your messy mat and put your paint tray back on the blue tray so that it can be returned. Our brushes always stay in the water bucket so that Ms. Pelovan can clean them for another class.